Honorable Adongo.
Gender balance. Gender balance. Gender balance.
Gender.
Let's respect the women on the other side. Gender. Let's respect the women.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to contribute to the debate on the approval of the government financial and economic policy for 2019. Mr. Speaker, listening to my colleagues on the other side carefully, I am quite clear why the Minister of Finance has not appeared here. He cannot stand the heat. It is quite clear from the absence of the minister and from all that I've heard that this is a government on its way out. And you have just 2 years to leave office. Mr. Speaker, I heard Anuma Kokone Kone, but I'm aware in where I come from that when a donkey is about to floor you, it shows the ears. But when you are arrogant and you see the ears, you alone, you don't see it. Everybody sees until they are on the ground. So when the people of Ghana are suffering and they are waiting to sack these people, they are still living in self-denial that this economy is one of the best. Mr. Speaker, the minister in his own document has admitted incompetence and non-performance. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to go to paragraph 116. And in paragraph 1016, the minister alludes to the fact that the economy was far better in 2017 compared to 2018. Mr. Speaker, don't forget that 2017, they were yet to find their feet. And it was the pass-through effect of our policies in 2016 that was still driving the economy. Today, they have now met their meter in 2018 when it actually should be performing. And Mr. Speaker, the minister says, and with your indulgence, I read. Mr. Speaker, GSS has published GDP growth for the first 2 quarters of 2018 based on the new rebased data. Provisional estimate pegged the first quarter overall GDP growth at 5.4%, same as the second quarter. These are below the growth rate of 7.4% in 20 and 11.1% in 2017, respectively. So you see, 2017, when you inherited the mess, it was growing at 7.4 and 11.1. Now that you have corrected the mess, it is growing at 5.4. You see, that should be telling you something. Mr. Speaker, he says that overall the non-oil GDP only grew by 4.4% and 4.8% respectively in the first and second quarter. Mr. Speaker, they are not even at the level of 2016 data. 2016 non-oil in the first quarter was 6.3. You are still doing 4.4. 2016 non-oil was still far at almost 6.7. You are still doing 4.5. But you are even saying that the 2017, when you inherited the mess, the first and second quarter performed better than this. What it means is that now that you have actually met your meter, 2019 will be worse than this. And this is the kind of people who have cleaned up the mess. Mr. Speaker, I just want to go to the data provided by the Ghana Statistical Service for the second quarter of this year. And the story is completely different from the story we have been told. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I would like to read. Water and storage. Water and storage. The water that we were providing for Chebi and providing for Adenta. Your economy, you grew by negative 3.5%.
Why?
Mr. Speaker, the financial sector recorded negative 13.4%. Mr. Speaker,
what are you referring to? What document is that? Second quarter 2018.
Exactly so.
And the budget is up to the third quarter.
Mr. Speaker, no, excuse me, Mr. Speaker, with your permission,
Kindly refer to the budget. Use the budget, please.
Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I want to refer to paragraph 116. And paragraph 116 talks about half-year performance of the budget in 2018. And that is what the minister came and reported. The minister says 2018 half-year performance. And half-year performance first and second quarter. And I'm picking the original source data from the people who are supposed to deliver this. And this is what they are telling us. Mr. Speaker, they are telling us that financial services actually recorded negative growth of almost 13.5%. Mr. Speaker, they are telling us that professional services suffered by almost 5.9%. Mr. Speaker, they are telling us that we saw a negative growth of trade and repair of vehicles. That was so kind people. They are seeing a negative 1.8%, even after we reduce the rate. Mr. Speaker, they are telling us that real estate is beginning to see a negative almost 0.9. And Mr. Speaker, the general service sector is now a pale shadow at 0.5%. Mr. Speaker, this is the kind of economy you grow when you inherit somebody's work in 2016 and you begin to jump around in 2017 because there's a pass-through. By 2019, your levels will show. And that is where you are. Mr. Speaker, the financial sector, and I've heard a lot of monies being mentioned, those monies have been thrown down the drain. And if I had the chance, the people who spend that money should be in jail by now. And Mr. Speaker, I want to quote their own Bible or their own budget to explain why they shouldn't have happened. Mr. Speaker, paragraph 138. Paragraph 138 of the minister's own document, Mr. Speaker. The minister begins to give us reasons why there are crises in the banking sector. And in paragraph 138, the minister says, he said, generally the entire banking industry, as at the end of April 2018, continued to be safe and sound, despite the decline in some key financial indicators. Industry-wide, the banks were solvent and liquid, although signs of weakness still remain. Asset quality continued to be a concern, especially for selected banks. Mr. Speaker, the minister is reporting the nature of the banking sector as at April. When did he take the other 5 banks? He is afraid to mention the true state of the banking sector as we speak today. And he's talking about April. Mr. Speaker, the minister now says that he found a solution. We want to know what solution he found. The minister tells us that he decided to consolidate banks that were insolvent. Mr. Speaker, when banks are insolvent, it simply means they don't have cash. So when you want to solve the problem, you give them cash. The minister consolidated the banks, and he tells that he issued a paper and gave it to them. So when you give them the paper, does it turn into cash? So when the depositor comes for their money, you tear part of the paper and give it to them. What type of incompetent solution is this? So as we speak today, you have decided to consolidate 5 banks that were insolvent, and you have actually created a conglomerate of insolvency. So today, for the first time in the history of Ghana, Consolidated Bank only has the name bank, but it is not a bank. As we speak, when you issue a check to Consolidated Bank today, it is the first time in the history of Ghana, for the first time in the history of Ghana, that when you issue a check to a bank, you cannot tell whether the check will come back or not. So you issue a check to a bank, they sit on it for 2 months and suppress the check, and one day you'll be there, they'll call you and give you part of the money. What type of financial clearance is this? And today,
Honourable Member, hold on. Stop your debate. Yes, Honourable Minister for Monetary and Evaluation.
Mr. Speaker, this is a house of facts. When we are talking about banking industry, it is important that we speak the facts. The statement that it is only a paper that is issued for it's wrong. Mr. Speaker, that's not what the minister said. The minister said the banks have been consolidated. Mr. Speaker, the truth is that the bond was issued to the banks, and Bank of Ghana has been discounting it for them. We are talking about the banking industry and reality. He should not be telling people something that is false. It is wrong confidence. Mr. Speaker, this is a house of facts. Mr. Speaker, I personally bank with 2 banks that have been consolidated. None of my checks have been delayed. He should be careful. Mr. Speaker, let us speak on facts. Let us create statements that bring bad confidence in the banking sector. I thank you.
And I remember, my only advice is that GN Bank's complaint is that a careless statement made on a radio station is killing its bank. Let's be careful what we say in the bank on the banking matter, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to refer you to paragraph 141. Paragraph 141, the minister makes it quite clear. He says that specific actions taken are A, the revocation of licenses of 2 insolvent banks in August 2017, and the approval of the acquisition of GCB Bank of some of the selected acquisitions of purchase and acquisition. He goes on to say that B, that the 5 banks were consolidated into a consolidated bank, and C, capitalization of consolidated bank with cash amount of 450, and D, the issuance of a medium to long-term bond to cover the liabilities that will be assumed by this bank. When you issue, you owe somebody, and you give him a bond. What is that?
A paper.
It's a paper. Okay? And I am not the one saying it. And you see, if the bank is insolvent, 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 Mr. Speaker, if the bank is insolvent, Mr. Speaker, what the bank needs is not a promise to pay him in 5 or 10 years' time. It is to give him cash now so that when depositors arrive, they will get their money. Now that you have given them a promise for the next 5 to 10 years, when the depositors come for their money, how do they get it? You give them part of the bond?
No, the paper.
So people are dying at the hospitals because they can't withdraw their money to go and take care of their health needs. People have got their business money locked up. They can't begin to do their businesses. And we call this banking. This is a mockery of banking, Mr. Speaker. And we have spent so much money to destroy what should have been repaired. And that is the exact point I am trying to make, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue of the financial sector goes beyond.
You have 1 minute.
No. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Adongo just
I haven't given you the floor. I want him to finish. If there's any misstatement, I'll give you the opportunity. But please let him finish. Honorable Leader, please. Yes, Honorable Adongo, your time stopped at 9, but because you still have 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate, but I'll go on. The fund management companies, the minister reports that there was a marginal decline of the number of fund management companies from 155 to 148. What it means is that the minister is happy to report that when 7 financial companies collapse, it is marginal. So we can expect more next year because that was just a marginal drop. But Mr. Speaker, the truth is that these companies are struggling to take their money from consolidated fund. And this consolidated bank that is suppressing checks, that is paying checks by installment. I've never seen a banking system where you issue a check and you don't know how much you are going to get. They now come to take part of it and give to you. But Mr. Speaker, I would like to make the point that the financial sector is in serious decline. And I want to take you through a few indicators in the banking sector. Mr. Speaker, if you consider the capital market today, the all-share index growth of 44.8% last year has declined to negative 258 million. In other words, you can't raise money on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Mr. Speaker, on the Ghana Stock Exchange today, capitalization for financial stocks has declined significantly from 29.1% to only negative 262%. Mr. Speaker, if you go to the stock exchange today, people are running away from it. Why? Because the economy is in shambles. And you are here praising and trying to praise yourself for what you are doing. Mr. Speaker,